everyone. Thanks again for tuning into Sin's Workshop. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So today we're going to be talking about Cackle by Rachel Harrison. This is actually really surprising. I hate to say it, but I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. The book is categorized, I don't know why, but when it was first published, it was categorized as horror. Why? I don't know after reading it. There was nothing really frightening about it. There was nothing really scary about it. So this is really just a light-hearted, cozy, comfy kind of read that I really did enjoy more than I thought I was going to, like I said. It follows Annie. Story picks up. She has been unceremoniously dumped by her boyfriend of 10 years. 8 years, really, if you ask him. And the last 2 years of relationships, they were just friends who sometimes slept together. That already sounds like a red flag to me. He's a kind of a prick. Actually, no, he is a prick. And she just doesn't know what to do. So she takes a job teaching in upstate New York, in a little town, little village. And here in this town, she meets Sophie. Now, Sophie is charismatic. Everyone's drawn to her. She has such a cool energy about her. But as much as Annie likes this new friend that she's made, she discovers that the people of the town, while they respect her and just kind of let her get away with not paying for things and doing whatever she wants, they kind of fear her. And as she starts to hang out with her, she's just like, more strange and strange things start to happen, like her haunted house. So I guess this is where the horror elements come into place, but just because there are horror elements, I really wouldn't categorize it as horror. You've got scenes of kids coughing up, one scene of a kid who was a little shit, coughing up spiders, and then you have the haunted house of ghosts, who all play a part in Sophie's past, because yes, Sophie is a witch. She is a fabulous witch, though, and she sees something in Annie that she recognizes, and what she sees is this loneliness for her. Annie doesn't know who she was outside of this relationship, and Sophie's helping her realize that. She's helping her find her own potential. She's helping her unlock her own potential. And yes, this also does mean this begins Annie's own journey of becoming a witch. But are they good witches or bad witches? Well, who can define that, really? I mean, it's all about perspective. Sophie will, do a couple things to the townsmember, but it's only if they step on her toes, and it's only if they cross the line. She has specific rules. It's like, please don't offend me. Please don't mistreat me, and we will be copacetic. The moment you cross that line, well, then you are screwed. And I like that because she's empowered and she's outspoken and Sophie is so in love with herself. It's contagious to the reader. You're just like, yeah, you dig it. And I think that's what's really good about this story, because it really does focus on this friendship between these two female characters. It really does focus on such a wonderful, heartwarming, wholesome female friendship between two women. There's no bitterness there. There's no snide comments. It's so perfectly wholesome with these two characters. And what Sophie realized a long time ago, because she is old. She looks young, but she is old. The path to happiness and unlocking your full potential is really just loving yourself. So the journey for Annie is all about discovering herself, discovering who she is outside of this relationship, discovering who she is without a man, and learning to not just love herself, but take comfort in being alone, because she doesn't really want to be alone. You see that really early on. And really, who does want to be alone? People don't really want to be alone, but your happiness, and this is what the book is, I think the core message is, happiness is what you make of it. Do you want to be alone? No. But you should be okay with being alone, and you should be okay living a life of solitude without just going pooh, batshit crazy, or, you know, succumbing to all the dark, bitter feelings. And that starts with loving yourself. And for Annie, how can she love herself if she never really knew herself, you know? So it's a really wholesome journey about learning to love yourself and learning to take comfort in being alone. And I really did love this it was such a beautiful friendship between these two women. I mean, it was so wholesome and platonic, and it's also empowering as well, because Sophie is teaching Annie to be empowered and discover herself and love herself and take comfort in being alone and be like, you don't need no man in your life, girl. You can please yourself. And I think that does extend to the reader too. I really do think it shows the reader, like, you know what, Sophie's on to something. Let's look at the mirror and just cook dinner for myself. Not for anyone else, but for myself. You know, do things for yourself. Love yourself. That is what the message of the book is. And that is why I loved it. And it's a book you can sit down and read in a day. I read 75% of it in 3 hours. And then I finished it later that night. It's a really quick, cozy, heartwarming, lighthearted, wholesome read. It does have some, like I said, haunted house, witches, a kid coughing up a spider, but he was a little shit, so he deserved it. There are some horror elements in there, but it's not scary, and it's kind of badass. When you read it, to me, it was pretty badass. So I'm going to go ahead and give Cackle 4 to 5 stars. If you want to go ahead and purchase the book, please remember to purchase from your local bookseller or online book retailer. I will include links of where to purchase the book in the description below. And on that note, I hope you all will continue to support me here by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and sharing it with all your book-loving friends. You can also become a supporter on Buy Me a Coffee or by purchasing one of my handmade candles on my Etsy store. Links to everything is in the description below. I hope you all have a great and wonderful rest of your day. And as always, happy reading.